Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Samantha. In this video I'm going to show you how I look after my hair when I'm wearing a protective style. So I've had these braids in for about 3 weeks, and during that time I've made sure that my scalp and my hair are clean and moisturized. So I found out a long time ago that if you're wearing a protective style, it's important to look after your actual hair. Otherwise, if you don't moisturize it, if you don't keep it well conditioned, then you're just asking for trouble, because then the hair gets really dry and brittle and you'll have excessive shedding and breakage when you eventually take the braids out. So to moisturize, I use what's called the LCO method, and that means to start off with the liquid, followed by a cream, and then an oil. So I know that's not for everybody, it doesn't work for everybody. Some people prefer to use the LOC method, which is when they start with a liquid followed by an oil and then a cream. Other people just apply a liquid and then an oil or a butter. So use whatever method works for you. The important thing is you want to add moisture and then seal in the moisture. So I prefer to use a spray bottle, because that means I can distribute the liquids, the moisturizer, throughout my hair more evenly and thoroughly, because I want to make sure that I get right down to the scalp, down to the roots, and also onto the actual braids, because remember, some of the hair will be wrapped up in the extensions, and you want to make sure that that hair is moisturized as well. So I spray all over the scalp, all over the roots, and I don't like drenching my hair until it's soaking wet. I just apply enough moisture to make sure that it's moisturized. I then use the balls of my fingers to massage the moisture thoroughly into the scalp and into the roots. You don't want to use your nails, because then you could just scratch yourself and then you get little cuts, little lacerations, which aren't good. And as you're massaging the moisture into your hair, you should actually feel a change in the texture of your hair. So let's say your hair was feeling a bit dry. Once you've massaged enough, you'll feel that your hair starts to feel nice and soft and just well conditioned and moisturized. And this is when you know that you've added enough moisture and you've really worked it into the hair, because you don't want to just apply the moisture and just let it sit on top of the hair. We want to work the moisture right into the hair shaft, and that way we are adding the moisture that the hair needs. So the other thing I do is I then squeeze the moisture right into the braids, so that the hair that's wrapped up in the braids or the extensions is moisturized as well. So as you can see, when I'm massaging, I make these sort of straight strokes rather than going circular motions, and that's because I don't want to agitate the roots too much, because that will just make the braids look untidy too quickly. But also, hair is quite delicate when it's wet. It's weakest actually when it's wet, and if you are too vigorous and you're going in circular motions, you're going to cause tangles, and you could end up just causing a lot of breakage, which you really don't want to do. So once I've massaged the moisture into my hair, I then apply the cream. So I'm using that avocado hair butter which I made, and if you want to make it for yourself, I'll put a link to that video on the screen and in the description box below. So I just take a dollop, so this is probably about a teaspoonful, and I put that into a little separate container, because I want to make it a creamier consistency. So I actually take some of the oil and then I just pour an amount just to make it creamy, so it's not like I measure out anything. You just see for yourself when you're mixing it that it's now a nice creamier texture, because that makes it easier to apply, and also it makes sure that it's well absorbed into the scalp and into the hair. So as you can see, it's much creamier texture now, and that's just going to be wonderful when I apply it onto the scalp and also into my hair. So just take small amounts and then just apply that straight onto the scalp and onto the roots of the hair. So I'm not applying the shea butter or the hair butter onto the actual braids. It's mainly focusing on the scalp and the roots, the hair that's exposed, because that's the hair that I want to basically nourish and protect a lot more from dryness. So you don't need to add huge amounts of products, otherwise you're going to end up with product buildup. So just small amounts and focusing that on where it needs to go is the trick here. So once I've applied a decent amount onto the scalp and the hair, I then massage it gently, again using the straight strokes rather than going in circular motions, and again using the balls of my fingers. And while you're doing this, you'll actually start to feel that the texture is again improving, and you can feel that your hair is now being conditioned and it feels amazing. You need to remember to work on the edges because we don't want to neglect these. I'm still babying my edges, making sure that they are nourished, making sure that they are moisturized and conditioned. And then once that's done, I then apply the oil. So because I added some oil to the butter, I'm not going to add a huge amount of oil, just enough just to now seal in the moisture. And because I didn't apply that butter onto the actual braids, this is one reason why I like to use an oil at the end. So I just add small amount onto the scalp. So I'm just going around making sure that I've applied as much as I can everywhere, and again using the balls of my fingers, I'm just using the strokes just to massage it all over the scalp and in the hair. Yeah, at the edges, because I don't have any braids there, it's fine to use the slightly circular motions, as you can see I'm doing. So scalp massages are actually a really wonderful and beneficial thing for the scalp and the hair, and that's because when you're massaging your scalp, you're going to improve or increase blood circulation to the scalp, and this means that all the nutrients which are in the blood are going to go to the hair follicles, nourish the hair follicles, and improve or stimulate hair growth. So I really encourage you guys to massage your scalp. I massage my scalp on a daily basis. I massage for at least 5 minutes a day. But if that's too much for you, if you don't have time for that, then try and do it at least 3 or 4 times a week. You're going to find that's really beneficial. So again, what I'm doing here is just squeezing some of the oil into the actual braids where my hair is, and that's because I want to make sure that I seal in the moisture that I applied earlier. So as you can see, my hair is now beautiful moisturized. It is just perfectly moisturized and perfectly conditioned. So I really enjoy that, and right now honestly my hair feels amazing, and so does my scalp, and this is something that I really encourage you to do. So if you've not been looking after your hair when it's in a protective style, please make sure that you do, and that will prevent itchy dry scalp, it will prevent dryness, it will prevent excessive shedding, and it will help your hair to grow longer because you will now be retaining length. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, again please hit the red subscribe button, also click the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I have a new video on the channel, and also please give the video a big thumbs up. Comment and share the video with your friends and family through WhatsApp, through social media, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care my lovelies. Bye for now.